What's going on, everybody? Shonen Express here, delivering to you my weekly manga rankings. Coming in at the very bottom of the list this week is chapter 241 of My Hero Academia. This is coming in 13th place this week. We have more manga on this week than we have ever before on these reviews, so I'm excited about that. But My Hero Academia this week, I didn't like it at all. Now, we just came off of that villains arc. I loved the villains arc. I thought it was one of the best arcs that My Hero Academia had. And now we seem to be starting in an arc with our main cast again, the students at UA. And we're just doing publicity training. I really hate these slice of life arcs. And I'm worried that this is going to become one of those again. Hopefully not. Hopefully we get some more deep stuff. But this chapter was just a big loss for me, and that's why I ended up all the way at the bottom of my list this week at number 13. Number 12 on my list this week is the 119th chapter of Dr.Stone. Now, I like Dr. Stone as a manga, and I didn't think that this chapter was bad. I just didn't have any significant feelings towards this chapter. I like Tegu. I like seeing him in there and fishing out the parts. That was funny. The part where Kaseki's back had like a poop insignia on it, that was funny. But I didn't feel super attached to this chapter. And that's why I ended up at chapter 12. I didn't feel like anything significant toward it. And that's why I ended up here. Coming in at number 11 is the 1273rd chapter of Hajime No Ippo. I'm a huge Hajime No Ippo fan, and my favorite character is Takeshi Sendo. This chapter focused almost entirely on Takeshi, his searching for Gonzalez, Alfredo Gonzalez throughout Mexico. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny how he ran into some like pro wrestlers down there that could speak Japanese. I thought that was cool. I like seeing Sendo a lot. I think it's cool that he found Ricardo Martinez. However, ultimately, it wasn't that interesting of a chapter. It was a kind of lifestyle kind of chapter. And Ippo has that from time to time, and I really enjoy the story. So I enjoy these chapters, but it came in at number 11 just because there wasn't anything that I significantly loved from this chapter. So that's why it came in at number 11. Coming in at number 10 is the first chapter of Mitama Security. I believe it's called Spirit Busters. Mitama Security Spirit Busters. This is a brand new manga running in Shonen Jump. The last time a brand new manga came out, which was just last week, I actually did a special delivery on it. I won't be doing a special delivery on this. I might sometime in the future, but I don't see myself doing that. But I did read this chapter and I put it in my rankings, and it came in number 10. This is definitely going to be a comedy manga, it looks like. I think that it has potential to be very interesting and to be funny. It certainly was very funny. So I will continue to read it. I don't know how long I'll stay on reading it, but I liked it so far. The pilot chapter here was pretty good. I'm excited to see what happens with this series. But for now, it comes in at number 10. We'll see where it goes from here on out. Number 9 this week is going to be chapter 114 of Blue Exorcist. I did like this chapter. However, the first half of the chapter we were focused on Shemi. It seemed a little jarring because, especially since last month's chapter I thought was really cool, it seemed a little jarring to just be kind of with her, seeing what's going on there. But I like the stuff with Rin at the end. I like that we're finally getting that connection to the Blue Knight in Rin's mom's backstory. So I like that. I liked seeing that. But overall, it was just kind of like an average chapter. So I put it at number 9 because that's kind of where I thought it fell. Was it number 9 this week? No shame in that, but that's where I thought Blue Exorcist was this week. Coming in at number 8 is the 14th chapter of Beast Children. Beast Children's the sports manga about rugby. It's a relatively new one, obviously only 14 chapters long so far. We are finally starting to play in the 7s. This manga is getting hype. I really like this manga. I really like this chapter, rather. We got to see them play Ryuso in a cool way. Our main team play Ryuso's team in a cool way. I really like that. I'm looking forward to see how the rest of the 7s go. My prediction, just so that you all can keep it in mind, if you are reading Beast Children along with me, keep in mind, I think that they will lose this match against Ryuso. I don't think they're going to win. I don't think they're going to go any farther than where they are right now. However, I think that's going to be their first kind of major defeat, and that's going to help Shishigaya and the rest of the team grow. So that's what I think is going to happen. But I really like this chapter. I really like the stuff actually playing rugby. And seeing new characters is always cool too. So I liked a lot of that stuff in this manga. So it ended up at number 8 this week. Coming in at number 7 is a manga that I have loved for a while, pretty much since I started reading it, but certainly more recently. Samurai 8, The Tale of Hot Chamorro. Its 16th chapter is coming in at number 7 for me this week. I really like this chapter. I really like last week's chapter 2 and the week before that, but this chapter was really cool too. We got to see Hachimaru perform an amazing attack on like a planetary level. So it was really cool. I really liked seeing that. And we're going to get to see more of his training out in space with Anne and Daruma. I'm really excited to see where this goes. And I'm excited to see what Hachimaru becomes, because I think I have great hopes in Hachimaru and great hopes in this manga. So I'm very excited to see where this goes. But this week it ended up at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is chapter 612 of Kingdom. Now, I'm pretty sure that another Kingdom chapter dropped either today or like late last night. But chapter 612 is the one that I'm putting on this list. And it comes in at number 6 for me this week. I really liked chapter 612. I thought that it was interesting. I liked the fighting. I always like the wars. Anytime a war's going on in Kingdom, it's a good time. So I really like what's going on. But specifically, what makes this chapter number 6 level material is Hoken and Riboku's conversation. This sets up a lot for the future of Kingdom. Hoken is going to be gunning for Shin specifically. Honestly, I don't think Shin's ready for him at this point, so we'll have to see where that goes. But that conversation was huge this week, and I definitely think that it made this chapter much more interesting. And that's why this chapter came in at number 6 for me this week. Coming in at number 5, with a huge comeback, we have chapter 13 of Tokyo Shinobi Squad. Now, I have been ripping on Tokyo Shinobi Squad for a couple weeks now. It was one of the manga that I had reviewed every week a while back, but it's not a bad manga, and I'm so glad that chapter 13 came out, because this is why I started reading Tokyo Shinobi Squad. I got into this manga because I really liked this manga, and I thought that the premise was really cool, and this chapter showed me that the premise is really cool. We are finally out of the supermodel arc, and we are getting into another arc, an arc that's going to probably pit some of these Shinobi squads against one another, and I'm very excited to see what happens there. Also, we got introduced to a Yankee punk-looking guy. I always love that kind of guy. I'm very excited to see what he's all about, and the looks in Tokyo Shinobi Squad are really cool, but all of the stuff that was revealed to us this chapter, the fact that N is going to come back with Jin, N and Jin, I like seeing those two together. I'm very excited to see what happens coming up in Tokyo Shinobi Squad. But chapter 13 gets number 5 this week. Coming in at number 4 is chapter 2 of Mission Yozakura Family. Now, I did a whole special delivery on this series telling you why I thought that I wanted to keep reading Mission Yozakura Family, and I thought it was going to be a good manga when this, chapter 1 was out. Chapter 2 just solidified everything I said in that video. I really like this manga. I think that this manga is going to be good. We got a hint that there are superpowers going to be involved, or special abilities at minimum going to be involved later on down the line. I'm very excited to see where this manga goes. And if you're not reading along, it's only 2 chapters long. Both are on the official release on the Viz site, or I believe the Shonen Jump website too. But I read the Viz translations. Go on there, read them, catch up, follow along with me. But it was number 4 this week. I thought it was great. I thought the situation that Asano gets thrown into, and the decisions that he makes are really good. I really like his character, and I really like all the other characters around him too. I still want to know what's up with that Buckethead guy, but eventually I'm sure that we'll get there. But this week it came in at number 4. So coming in at number 3 is the 148th chapter of the Promised Neverland. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a little while, you know that I love The Promised Neverland. It's one of my favorite manga that is currently ongoing. And I thought this chapter was really good. I like the stuff that we got with Emma and Ray, and we got to see Musica and Sungjo again. I'm really excited to see what happens with the army that is marching toward the shelter. I really want to know what's going on there. I want to know more about Giran. There's just so much I want to know more about. But we are in the final stretch of The Promised Neverland, and I'm very excited to see what happens going forward. But this chapter specifically, I like seeing Emma. It's a breath of fresh air. It's a breath of positivity. Dawn and Gilda are back. I like seeing them. I really am excited to see how Emma, Ray, and the other kids help the demons, really help save everyone. I think it's going to happen. I'm excited to see what happens. And of course, I want to know what that promise was. What promise did Emma make with that demon king guy? I want to know, but we'll have to find out. But for this week, chapter 148 got number 3 for me. Number 2 this week is chapter 954 of One Piece. One Piece, again, if you've been watching this channel, you know One Piece is one of my favorite ongoing manga. It was really good. We got to learn a little more about the swords. I love One Piece lore chapters, and this was one of those chapters. Hiyori told us a little bit about the swords that Odin used, how Odin wielded both swords. That was cool. And how Enma injured Kaido. We got to find that out a little bit last chapter, but I really liked getting more information about that. We seem like we are geared up for the Fire Festival. I think that actually next chapter is when the Fire Festival kind of part is going to start. I think that we're there. I think that we are about ready to raid Onigashima. I'm excited to see what happens there. I really don't know how our main characters are going to even stand a chance, especially because Big Mom and Kaido just teamed up. That was insane. That made this chapter super crazy and definitely helped in putting it at number 2 on my list, for sure. But that's where it ended up this week. Definitely number 2. Only beaten out by my number 1 pick this week. And that number 1 pick is the 218th chapter of Black Clover. This manga is getting crazy. This week's chapter was insane. I love that the Black Bulls came together to rescue Asta. That is the coolest thing. They all busted in saying they were going to take back Asta. I love it. The Black Bulls are going rogue, and that is the best possible case that could happen going forward. I'm excited to see what Damnatio does in the next chapter, but this chapter was so hype with the Black Bulls teamwork. I love seeing that kind of stuff, and Black Clover's great at that anyway, but I really liked seeing this, all of that go down this chapter, and I think it definitely deserves my number 1 spot this week. So that's all I got for you on my weekly rankings this week. If you liked what I had to say, like this video, subscribe to my channel. I bring you these weekly ranking videos every single week, along with some kind of other special video, some special delivery video on Tuesday every week. So I definitely encourage you to subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you as one of my subscribers. Also, if you have anything to say about my list, where things are, if you disagree with me, if you agree with me, leave it down in the comment section below. I'd love to talk with you about that. But for now, that's all I got for you. So this is Shonen Express, signing off.